Got them beachy waves. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. It looks a little different today because I'm up at my cottage. This might be the first time that you're seeing me with no makeup on. If you have a cottage or a cabin yourself, you'll recognize I have the obligatory cottage bookshelf behind me, which is just filled with grandpa books in a good way. Since we're at the cottage, I figured I'd show you my list of beachy horror summer reads. What makes it a beachy horror summer read and not just a regular horror read? Well, when it comes to selecting my beach reading list, for me it's always horror because it's just fun to read horror in the summer. I don't know. A beach read has to be short so that we can finish it in the amount of time that we're actually at the beach. It has to be fun and not too serious. And it has to be thematically relevant. And that's a pretty loose one. I just mean we're not doing any wintry reads or things like that. These give me kind of a summer vibe, sort of. But again, it's my list and I can choose whatever I want. Right off the bat, let's just start with some nice novellas. You're at the beach for like a day, you're gonna read a novella. I've chosen Flowers for the Sea by Zin E. Rockland. This is the story of refugees from a flooded kingdom stranded on an ark surrounded by ravenous beasts. The story itself is a little bit on the darker side. It has themes of pregnancy, unwanted children, and things like that, so I would be careful. But definitely a short, quick read and thematically relevant as it takes place on the sea. The Scourge Between Stars by Ness Brown is the story of Jacqueline Albright, the captain of a starship, the Calypso, returning to Earth from a failed colony, and then there is a mysterious intruder on the ship that she and her crew must hunt down in bloody fashion. Nothing But Blackened Teeth by Cassandra Khaw is essentially a cabin in the woods story, but set in an ancient Japanese mansion haunted by a dead bride. You May Know Tender Is the Flesh by Augustina Bazterrica, I'm not sure how to pronounce her last name. This is her newest work. It's actually a collection of short stories filled with sand because I'm literally reading this at the beach right now. Some of the short stories are only a page and a half long, so this is an easy one to get through, and the stories are super spooky. And what is summer in Canada if it isn't hot? So I've got some horror books here that are just set in like desert situations and make me think of summer. That's why they're on the list. Sundial by Catriona Ward is the story of a mother running from her past at her maybe haunted ranch in the Mojave Desert, and of her daughter who is terrified of her mother and is uncovering the secrets that her mother is holding. Desert Creatures by Kay Chronister is the story of an 11-year-old girl and her father traveling through the American West to the holy city of Las Vegas in this post-apocalyptic tale. This book is full of creepy creatures, vigilante saints, and good old-fashioned American nonsense. Pinata by Leopoldo Gout is one of my favorite reads of the year so far. This is the story of an architect and her 2 young daughters who travel to Mexico for a job, but when things go disastrously wrong and some ancient artifacts are uncovered, they return to New York City where they live and things get a little spooky. Also one of my favorite weird covers. Riley Sager is known for his thrillers, which should really be horror sometimes. My personal favorite is The House Across the Lake. It's parts Rear Window, parts Girl on the Train, parts Cabin in the Woods. So if you're looking for a fun lake house story, this is the one. What's another thing that summer makes you think of? Is it theme parks? If so, you should read Hyde by Kirsten White. Look at this awesome map. The basic premise of Hyde is there is a competition where 14 people have to spend a week basically playing hide and seek within an abandoned theme park. The main character is one of those people and she's really good at hiding, but slowly the other contestants start to disappear one by one. Oh, Maevefly returns again. I will never not talk about Maevefly by CJ Lead in a horror video. By day, Maeve works as a princess at Disneyland, and by night, she is an absolutely unhinged, insane serial killer. This book is described as a feminist slasher, and how could we not want that? Shutter Island by Dennis Lehane is one of the first scary books I ever read. I read it when I was like 11, probably too young. This one again does focus on some darker themes like the death of children, so trigger warning for that. It's 1954, everyone is paranoid, and US Marshal Leonardo DiCaprio, just kidding, his name is Teddy, is tasked with going to Shutter Island, which is a hospital for the criminally insane, and he is investigating some disappearances and some murders, and it's full of twists and turns. And if you haven't seen the movie, read the book. If you have seen the movie, read the book anyway, they're a bit different. Last but not least on my list, I'm going to plug a book that was sent to me by publisher Henry Holt and Macmillan USA. They sent me The Militia House, which is by John Milas. It's a brand new military horror. This is set in Afghanistan in 2010, focusing on a group of soldiers who have recently taken hold of a Soviet-era militia house. And things are not as it seems, and paranormal spooky things start happening. And I swear to you, if this is not based on that true story, I need to think of the name, but I'm gonna put it up here. If this is not somewhat based on that or pulled from it, then it's a big, huge coincidence. But if this is based on the story I think it's based on, it's one of my absolute favorite true scary stories, and I'm very excited to read this. So thank you again to Henry Holt and Macmillan for sending me a copy of The Militia House. I'll talk a bit more about The Militia House in a later video. I'll do a full review of it and everything because it was sent as a gift. And that's it. That was 12 beachy horror summer reads that you can read on the beach this summer, probably in one sitting. If you have any suggestions for me, I'm always looking for new horror, especially short horror. I love haunted houses. I love paranormal stuff. Okay, I got water in my ear. I gotta go. Before I go, don't forget to like and subscribe and ring the bell icon so you know when I upload new videos. I upload 3 days a week. I love you guys. Goodbye.